jobs and what type of cron jobs which we'll see in our Kubernetes environment. So guys, basically jobs are done to perform the scheduled task. Suppose any kind of task I need to mention, so I will perform a specific kind of job, and that job can be any one of the type. Let's say, suppose I have to schedule any kind of workload, or I have to make the changes. So any kind of jobs I need to perform. So for this, I will set those jobs in my pods, and this will perform a kind of task, we can say, and that can be a kind of scheduled task, we can say. Means it can be on specific running on regular intervals or in a frequency of, let's say, in a week. Suppose I want to run those particular task at 5 o'clock, 5 p.m., or any kind of a specific job. Now, these kind of jobs may be in the form of batches, we can say. Suppose I am performing any kind of jobs, so I will have to. So suppose I have to send any emails to the customers at 5 p.m. Okay, so this will be performed in the form of batches, and when we say in the kind of batches, we will call them as migration batch. You can say. Okay, so this kind of jobs where we perform this kind of task, which is called scheduled task, and they are performed in a form of container. Now, they can be for one-time task, or batch processing, or migration, or post-deployment books. Okay, now if any kind of like hooks will be performed, like web hooks means in the form of like a web API. Suppose in Kubernetes, if I will say I will have to perform certain kind of task, and that too in the form of let's say we take this color. Okay, let's say I will have to call the Kubernetes API for the specific task. So in that case, I will use the form of like webhooks are there. So that will be performing the kind of like get or consume request. Okay. In the form of a get and post request, they will maintain, and in a way they will call the API part. Okay. So nevertheless, we are more concerned here about the job example, how the job will schedule. And now for this, we will specify a YAML file. In that case, we'll specify a kind of what we are doing the type. Basically, it's a job. So, and now specific actions will include the template. Then in that specification, if we further specified in the containers, like what we have to include. So we'll maintain name hello, then image busy box, and command we have to type echo hello world. This is the restart policy. If you don't want to restart, then you can say as never, or it must be on, job must be on never or failure. So this is kind of a jobs will be which will manage in our Kubernetes environment, and these jobs will be linked to the pods, and in the pods there are containers, and in the container, as you know, there are applications. So in any of the job fails at specific intervals, so if any of the like crash happens, so then it will fail over, or a new pod will be scheduled accordingly. Okay, so this is about our jobs environment in our Kubernetes. Now we'll check about the cron jobs. So cron jobs basically they perform on a repetitive schedule, like in Linux cron job we'll do. So they will perform periodic cleanup task. Suppose in the example I have taken example of, let's say here, email. So in the same way, I will take the example of, let's say, cleanup task. Suppose I want to ensure that the all the temp files in the app gets deleted at suppose 4 a.m. Okay, so this is the specific schedule task I will perform. And now this is, since this is a cleanup task, so I will not involve any kind of like repetitive job. So this I for this I will run a cron job. Okay, and if cron job, we can manage those scheduled reports or cleanup tasks. So this is a time-based job similarly, and in every day I will have to perform this. So I will schedule this task in a cron job. So I will mention the syntax in this form of like kind of cron job. Then it's a schedule. Every hour I have to run this cleanup task. Suppose okay, so or every hour I can give the frequency here. Like in 1 hour I have to run the cron job. So in that way, I can specify the timing as the duration. Okay, and the next thing we have to specify the job template. Like job for that, I can use the schedule. These are the specifications. Like we'll have to understand how it works. So now in the template, we can define this as containers. Like it's a task. Now it's a busy box. So on hourly basis, you will to perform. You have to begin the argument as echo hourly job. Okay, so this job which I am performing, it's in a frequency of hourly job. Okay, so that kind of argument I can give. Now restart policy, suppose the job fails. Okay, so it will perform the like of on failure function, or if any kind of failure does, and it will not restart, or job work must never or on failure means it's a restart policy is there. Now this is the syntax guide. For minute will be taking 0 to 59, and 23 hours, like 0 to 23 days of months, we know 1 to 11 31, and month 1 to 12. So days of week 0 to 6 days. So every midnight, if every day at midnight, suppose, then we'll give every 5 minute interval in the form of this framework. Star this much. And as we have given the example here for every hour, so we have given like a zero star every one. Okay, so this is since every 5 minutes, so it's divided by five. Okay, now so this is about the summary part. Like we can use a job or task that we need to run once and finish. Means here we are doing the repetitive task, but here we only want the email to be sent at a particular time duration only. Okay, so this is all for batch jobs, these are for cleanup scripts and non-service workloads. So we have discussed here the jobs and cron jobs in our Kubernetes part, and in the next video we'll discuss more on the init containers, what are init containers, and discuss detail about it. Thank you for watching.